Alright, check it. The year is 1990. And with Walt Disney World being low-key the best thing fucking invented on planet Earth, Michael Eisner pulls up into his office up in Burbank, California, and is like, hey yo, what if we got like that multi-day park resort theme going in California? For all you Disney younglings watching the video, just know that there was once a time where Disneyland Resort was just Disneyland and the parking lot. Oh, and the Disneyland Hotel, which they didn't even own until Michael Eisner had to pull off some really shady shit in order to acquire that hotel. Long story short, they waited till the company owning the Disneyland Hotel went into complete financial ruin, and then they crept up on their ear and was like, hey yo, you know the fact that like you own a Disneyland Hotel on our property? Yeah, you look like you need some money right now. And then bam, instead of just buying the Disneyland Hotel back, these mofos decided to buy the entire company, the entire Rather Corporation. Anywhoosies, alongside of owning the Disneyland Hotel up in Anaheim, the Rather Corporation actually also owned the parcel of land where the RMS Queen Mary in Long Beach is docked to this day. Obviously, it didn't take long before a Disney Imagineer was like, hey yo, you know that parcel of land we got in Long Beach? Why don't we build, you know, a park down there? Bam! Port Disney was born. Now Port Disney, man, just look at Port Disney, man. Look at Port Disney. Now, based off the concept art I'm showing you and based off how beautiful those models are, there was just one problem with this park. Ain't nobody driving through 47 minutes of LA traffic just to get from one Disney gate to another. It was for that reason and the opposition from Long Beach residents that Disney Sea or Port Disney or whatever the project was going to be named was scrapped. Now check it, your boy Michael Eisner and the Imagineers, they kinda still needed a second gate in California to make Disneyland a multi-day resort. It was at this moment a really cool idea dawned on one of these Imagineers, and they were like, hey yo, what if we grabbed Epcot from Florida and just moved it to the West Coast? Bam! Westcott Center was born. Now Westcott Center, let me tell you something about Westcott Center. This park looked godly. Now for those of y'all already accustomed to the Epcot Center down in Florida, Westcott Center sounds exactly what you think it is. A West Coast version of Epcot. So in this version of Epcot, or Westcott, or however you want to dub it, Spaceship Earth was going to be called Space Station Earth, and instead of being 180 feet like it is in Florida, it was going to be 300 feet tall in this version. Also in this version of Epcot, we were still going to get Horizons, Journey into Imagination, The Living Seas, Wonders of Life Pavilion, and World Showcase. And now this World Showcase is kind of like a little dummied down version of Florida's version because, you know, there's kind of no space to do anything in California. The whole concept still remains. The only difference is that instead of countries, you're gonna get regions of the world. Basically, it's like comparing Space Mountain in Florida to Space Mountain in Anaheim. Even though one's bigger than the other, the experience is still pretty much the same. There was gonna be a new Disneyland Hotel, which is like double the size of the original Disneyland Hotel. There was gonna be a brand new performing arts venue in the vicinity. It was gonna be called the Disneyland Bowl, and it was gonna seat 5,000 people. So what happened? Because obviously if you performed at Disney anytime in your middle school or high school life, you obviously was not performing in no Disneyland Bowl, I'll tell you that. See, even though the idea looks amazing on paper, Anaheim residents were beginning to be a little sketchy over the fact that their Spaceship Earth, or Space Station Earth, was going to be over 300 feet tall. For anyone who's never been to Anaheim, Anaheim does not have a lot of tall buildings. So a 300-foot Spaceship Earth would create an absolute eyesore in the community. Combine that fact and the fact that on May 8th, 1991, when Westcott finally revealed its plans and blueprints to become an actual thing, a lot of local residents or local businesses that were around the park realized that they were actually in the way of the blueprint without being asked permission from Disney or Anaheim, who sold them off the land. Well, they didn't sell them the land, they just kind of promised them the land, as long as you get the point. But despite opposition from locals and local businesses alike, Westcott just seemed like to be too good of an idea to pass up for shareholders or the company or the Imagineers who just spent years and years working on this. So Imagineers went to work, they ramified it, they modified it, and they launched a new Westcott blueprint where Space Station Earth does not exist anymore, and some edges and borders around the park has been trimmed down a little so that local businesses wouldn't be too affected. And if we're being quite honest, the park still looks pretty sick. Now this is the part of the video we were probably like, Ayo Gio, this shit's cute and all, but last time I checked, my grad night was not at Westcott. So what the hell happened to Westcott? See, while Disney Corporation was trying to figure out what to open as the second park down as Anaheim, they were also up in Paris, France, trying to build a Magic Kingdom up in there because you know how Mikey and his boys roll. The project was to be named Euro Disney, and if I'm gonna be honest, Euro Disney is too much to cover and deserves its own episode. Just to make a long story short, Euro Disney opens, it's cute, there's fireworks, there's Disney characters, they're speaking in French, Michael Eisner's voice cracks.
Et maintenant, je déclare Euro Disney officiellement ouvert.
The French don't like it, the Europeans don't like it, the name's low-key kind of whack. Space Mountain had to save it from going millions and millions and billions of dollars into debt, and it is for that reason the Parks Division also went into millions and millions and billions of dollars into debt. So that whole cute little Westcott idea we were talking about as becoming the second park at Disneyland Resort, yeah, that's no longer possible. It was at this point where the Disney Imagineers were like really scrambling because not only were they like in a shit ton of debt, Mikey Eisner still wanted his second gate at Disneyland. So not only were they supposed to make a Disneyland park worthy of the original Disneyland that Walt built over 40 years ago, they also had to do it on a budget. That was when a brave young soul pulled up into Mikey Eisner's office and was like, "Hey yo, check this. What if we made a California themed theme park in California?"
From the dream makers at Disney. An exciting new theme park is coming to Southern California, located right next door to Disneyland Park, celebrating all the fun and adventure of California. Introducing Disney's California Adventure, a brand new Disney park. Opening February 2001.
My guy, who greenlit this? Okay, I get what they're going for. Disneyland is a one-day resort type of thing where you fly into California or you drive into California, you visit Disneyland, you dip Anaheim, you go to LA, you go to San Diego, you go to San Francisco, fuck it, you go to Sacramento, and you do something else. Okay, I get it. And they were trying to make it seem like, oh, you don't have to do all of that now. You could just get the rest of California in here. I get it. And you also had a budget of only $600 million compared to the budget of $3.1 billion y'all had at Westcott. So y'all couldn't really, just like make another Animal Kingdom. I get it. But my guy, do you understand how ridiculous it is to have a California themed theme park in California? Now, a lot of y'all Disney younglings are probably like, bro, Disney's California Adventure isn't even that bad. Like, I went to it. It was pretty lit. Yeah, that's because you're thinking of Disney California Adventure, the one without the S. You're thinking of DCA 2.0. You're thinking of Bob Iger's Disney California Adventure. We talking about Michael Eisner's Disney's California Adventure, the one with the S in the name. Now, a lot of you guys right now are probably like, okay, Gio, we got it, bro. You hate the original Disney's California Adventure. Can you at least explain why you hate it so much? And to that I say, yeah, you're right. Let's get on with the main critiques. Yeah, no, this park is ugly as shit. One of my favorite things about visiting modern day Disney California Adventure Park is that when I walk in, I see the breathtakingly beautiful Buena Vista Street, which is a 1920s recreation of downtown LA, which is how Walt Disney found it when he first decided to step on its whole animation scene. Now, what do you get in DCA 2001 edition? Sunshine Plaza. Oh boy. To all my Vegas viewers out there, which is like all of you. You know those people who move into the city or move into your school and they're from the Bay Area, they're from like Oakland, they're from San Fran, they're from San Jose, they're from Sanford. They pull up into your city, they pull up into your school, and they can't go 5 minutes without reminding you that they're from the Bay Area? Well, Disney decided to make it a good idea to make that whole concept into a theme park land. This land cannot go 5 seconds without reminding you that you're in California. The original Paradise Pier looked like somebody from Wed Enterprises honestly went on a complete acid trip. Like, look at that sun wheel. What is that? What is that, my man? What is that even supposed to be? Like, my guy, there was a whole section of the park dedicated to farming. Farming. But don't worry, guys. If you don't like farming, at least you can catch Golden Dreams featuring Whoopi Goldberg just right in front of the Paradise Pier Bay. Oh boy. Aside from learning how to use a tractor and a couple of good rides like Soarin' or the original incarnation of California Screamin', there was honestly a shit ton of mediocre rides at this park. For example, on the eastern side of Paradise Pier, there was a space shot type of attraction, and the name of this attraction was the Maliboomer. Get it? 'Cause Malibu and Boomer, because the ride goes boom. Yeah. Also on that side of Paradise Pier, you had Mulholland Madness, which is like a loco from the Adventure Dome, except on this one, you can't fall out of the cart and there's no inversions. You also had the Orange Stinger, which is like the Wave Slinger in Chicago, except in this one, you're in an orange. Get it? Because the original Disneyland was built on an orange grove, and you're in Orange County? Yeah. And of course, how could we forget everybody's favorite, Superstar Limo? Now, Superstar Limo, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm just saying, though, if you've ever been really bored and you went to the deep depths of Wattpad and you ever wondered how one of these strange-ass fanfic stories could be turned into a Disney ride, well, do I have a fucking treat for you.
Hollywood favorite, Whoopi Goldberg.
Look, it's Hollywood's newest sensation. And you know what that means, don't you, baby? You've arrived.
As they say in this town, looks like you are a big waffle. And don't let it go to your head.
Congratulations, kid. I love your movie. You are a superstar. It's big time.
Now, despite the fact that they were dealing with a scaled down budget because, you know, Euro Disneyland.
Euro Disneyland.
And also despite the fact that they kind of had to deal with the worst theme park theme of Disney park history, the fact of the matter still remains. The execution of this theme park looked like it lacked a lot of effort. Just to give an idea, the centerpiece of the park was this big giant sun statue, which the whole purpose of the whole sun statue is that it'll reflect ray beams from the sun and shoot it back onto its guests to like appear sparkly and shit or whatever. Here's the problem though. They built the statue facing the east when the California sun is predominantly on the west, aka the other side of which the statue isn't facing. So what happened? Because obviously if you've been to Disney California Adventure any of these recent years, this park does not look like this anymore. Okay, so when the park opened in 2001, it was a massive flop when it came to entertaining guests. See, when the park opened back in 2001, the price of the ticket to get into DCA was the same price as it would be to get into Disneyland, the original park. So fans were kind of expecting a Disneyland quality park. My friends, they did not get Disneyland all right. The main point of criticism of the park was this. A company that always bent over backwards to try to give the maximum satisfaction and quality to its guests finally made a park where they dropped the ball. all this culminated into a really, really negative reception for the park. A reception so negative, in fact, that when the late great Imagineer John Hench visited the park on opening day, he was quoted with saying, and I quote, "I preferred the old parking lot better." What eventually ended up happening was that when Bob Iger took over as CEO in 2005, one of the projects he had on board from the get-go was to give this park a complete redo, which he did. It costed $1.1 billion, more than what the park opening costed. I visited DCA a ton ever since they did this revamp. In fact, I've only visited 1.0 once, and trust me, it was not memorable. And almost every single time I've been to DCA, it's been with a group of friends. And I have certain friends out there who say that the modern Disney California Adventure is actually better than the original Disneyland.
So I really know what's happening right now. So I love my mom. I love you, Mom.
Which is really, really, really good compliment to give this revamped park, considering its early stages. So what happened to the two abandoned parks? You know, Westcott and Port Disney. Well, Westcott never recuperated, and honestly, if you want to experience the closest thing to Westcott, you know the obvious answer. As for Port Disney, well...